Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today I'm going to make, I'm going to call it, I guess, an easy ephemera storage booklet or holder, whatever you might want to call it. So I'm going to use cardstock, I'm going to use cardstock for the whole thing. I'm going to use this floral cardstock for my cover. And then I'm just going to use plain cardstock for my pages inside. So I've been looking for, different ways to store my little ephemera pieces, like little tags, little things like this. I have them in a binder with, the little inserts that you put, I don't know if they're trading cards or what in. But sometimes they tend to fall out, and I just think this is a cute little idea. So I want to make more of them. I want to make some for my smaller ephemera, and I want to make some for my bigger pieces, and I want to make some for like the ephemera that I've made, tags and journal cards and stuff like that I've made, because they just get put in bags and a box, and then I forget what I have. So I want to be able to put stuff like this away also, like these tags that I've made, stuff like that. So that's what I want to do. When Pac-Tan's closed, I got oodles and oodles of this cardstock. It's all different colors and designs, and instead of leaving it just sit there, I might as well use it. So when I scored this, it broke just a little bit in some places. I scored it on both sides, but I guess it's just a trait of this cardstock, so it tends to break. But I can use washi tape to put over my spine to reinforce it, and around the bottom if I need to. So guess I don't have to say we'll go ahead and get started with our video, because I've already been yakking. But we're going to go ahead and get started anyway. So I'll tell you what size I made it. This was from a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock, and I think, yes, this sideways is 12 inches. And at first I didn't cut the bottom off, but then I found that I had to, because these are 8 by 11.5 and they wouldn't fit. So then I cut the length down to 10 inches. So before I cut it, I had already folded my bottom pockets up, and then I had to cut some off. Otherwise, these pockets would have been a little bit deeper, but it's fine. I could cut them off, and I could add a wider piece on, but I'm not going to do that. It's just fine. I don't have a problem with it at all. So on the inside of the cover, I'm going to have strips. Not these ones, them are too narrow. I'm going to have strips. And I just have to watch that I don't go over my fold line. And these strips are a little bit wider than the bottom ones, but it'll be okay. So this is what the inside of the cover is going to look like. Now this bottom, after I cut it, the pocket is like 1¼ inches. These are 1.5. And then these are just 1 inch. And I just cut a little V in the pocket down here, so when it closes, it'll close easier. Then, to figure out my markings, I just drew how far apart I wanted them to be spaced. And then all I have to do is set it on here, draw a line on each side, and then all of them are spaced evenly. I already did that on all of them. And then on these papers, I did three of these. So actually altogether we get four sheets of this cardstock, and then we have these two. And these ones are only about 5.5 inches wide folded. So when I cut these, to make it easier, I just cut my strips in half. So they'll be in a little tiny bit from the edge. Well, this one would go down here. They'll be in a little tiny bit from the edge, but I don't care about that, because you don't want it by the fold anyway. So they'll lay in there just fine, and I'll still be able to pretty much fit the same amount as I would if they were a hair wider. So on these papers, I'll have, let me see, how wide did I make these strips? I only made these, well, it come out like 5 1/4. And they're still the 1.5 inches wide. So I just had to cut them a little tiny bit narrower. So I'll have 2 of these on each page, and then I'll have the 1 inch on top. And that's how I'm going to have all of them. Now, somewhere along the way, some of these might have been cut just a little bit shorter, but we're not even going to look at that, because we're only going to use it to hold ephemera. So I'm going to go ahead and start gluing some of these in, and then I can go off and finish gluing them and come back, and then we could fill them up a little bit with some ephemera. I have some stuff picked out. Now there, that score line, you probably can't even see it, but when I was scoring it, I kind of like went off of the line on the scoreboard. So, how many of you have made these? I guess some call them journals, ephemera journals, ephemera holders. I think it just looks like a little booklet. So you can call them whatever you want, but how many have made these? For some of my bigger ones, I might use file folders because they're bigger to begin with, and I would have a lot more room. So I think I'll probably do that. I thought about, when I started this one, I thought about starting out right away with the file folder, but then I thought for some of my smaller stuff, I just wanted like a smaller booklet that I could just open up and see what I had there. I might use the file folders when I make the ones for the ephemera that I've already made, because some of them tend to be a little bit bigger, and I would like to keep all of them together. Then somewhere down the line, my daughter and I was talking about them, and somewhere down the line, I would like to also do the holiday ephemera. Keep them separate in their own books. On these, I'm going to glue down the side and across the bottom. So we're going to try to keep it close to the edge, so we have a little bit more room in our pockets. Because if we go in too far, we'll lose space. Now, some people, they sew their pockets on, and I could do that too, but I'm just going to glue them. And to cover up my pencil marks, I can just set that right on the pencil mark and I won't even see it. So I'm going to stay in away from this. If I have to, I can trim that little tiny bit off when I get all done. And I figured because I have so much of this cardstock, I could just use that also for my pockets. If you make up the little measuring thing, like this yellow thing, and you can set it on there and you don't have to guess. You can just make all your marks and then go right through and just glue them all down. And that would be faster. So let's just see what one of them looks like here. So that's a little bit shorter. And then we have one that is a little bit longer. And even if they go up over this pocket, that doesn't matter. I don't like the way this laid down because it's not laying down flat enough. I want it to lay down flat. Maybe it won't, I don't know. I want it to lay down flat so it'll hold my papers in. Maybe I'll just run a little bead across the bottom and see if that helps flatten it out. I don't know if it will or not. Could just be the cardstock itself. That seems like it doesn't have quite as much bow in it. So I will do that over here also. I hope I'm still on camera. So how's everyone doing today? We're still dealing with this winter weather. Like all this lake effect snow stuff. They put us under a level 3 advisory for our roads again. And they changed them to a level 2 a little while ago. So like really nobody knows what you're supposed to do. But there's a lot of blowing now. It's really windy. So visibility hasn't been all that good. We're beginning to think it's never going to go away. I guess it still sticks up like that, but that's okay. So once we get a bunch in there, it'll help hold them all in. So I think I'm going to like this. Okay, so we'll do this side. We'll do a couple on the other sheets. And then I'll probably go off and just glue. Even if I only do some of it on video, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to staple it in or if I'm just going to do like that three hole pamphlet stitch. I might just do that because that's easy to do. But I'm going to put all my pockets on before I glue it all together. I think it would be easier to do it when it's laying flat. And this one looks like it's a little wider than that one, but that will be just fine. And I was cutting some of them. I guess some of my strips cut a little bit at an angle. but I'm not going to waste my paper. Okay, so there's that. And then I'll put something on the front saying what's in it anyway. Okay, so I think I'll start at the bottom, and I'm going to leave it up just barely from the bottom. I don't think I cut that very straight. Oh, let me see. So what has everyone been working on? One of these days I should start making a little bit of Christmas ephemera. Or Christmas something anyway. I made a lot in July. Well, quite a bit. We'll just say quite a bit. I don't know how much I'm going to make this month. Generally, the Christmas month is hectic. And then we have to have room for making Christmas cookies and all that good stuff. We still have to decorate. See, I think it's just fine because that little border is there. So I don't have to worry about it not closing right. So now when this is in there, when we open it up, we would see our other paper. And that, I think that'll work out nice. So I'm just going to go off. I'm going to glue most of them in anyway, if I don't get them all glued in. But then you'll at least be able to see the book, and you know what they look like all sewed together if I don't get the stitching done today. But I wanted to give you an idea of what I was doing anyway. So I'll be back soon. Okay, so we're back, and I just went ahead and finished it off, and I sewed it in. So I did it kind of like an assembly line style. I just laid the pages out flat, did each side as I went, turned the pages over, did them sides, and it went by fast. And then I just tore a piece of fabric. This was an old sheet that I had used for something. Well, it was a new sheet, but I've had it for a while. So I just kind of tore that, and I'm going to use that to wrap around it. And I'm not going to cut it real short, so when I start adding stuff in, then, you know, I'll still have room for tying it. So I'm only going to go through and put a few things in. So I'm going to start off with these little tickets. So I have some short ones. And I have some long ones, so if I put them together, I can have my short ones up above, and I can have my longer ones down below, and then I can see all of them, you know, as I'm wanting them. And they can be overlapped somewhat. That's a little longer, so this one is a little shorter. So I can use this page for these because I have quite a lot of them. So, but I'll be able to skim through them and see what I actually have. And I don't have to go from container to container or book to book. I can just, you know, kind of look through all of them and see what there is. Some of these I can put down on the bottom. These ones that are a little bit shorter. So, all right, we'll go on to another page because I have a lot. So we can go over here, and I have these, and they're shorter, so they'll fit in one of the top ones. And I think I'm really going to like this. So I can have like all of my floral stuff together. So probably somewhere along the way, whatever I'm putting in here, I might rearrange it, you know, especially as I make more little booklets. And have my little butterfly labels. They can go on the bottom. Some of this stuff I don't use because I just don't want to go looking for it. I can straighten them all out. And let me see what else. I have like these labels like this, and these I can stamp on these, or I can put words on them. So I could have these all in this little booklet. So I'll just do a few, and you'll get the idea. Like any of the stuff that is like steampunk, I will probably eventually have, you know, that together, but I'll be able to go through and look and see what I have for sure, because right now I don't really remember what I have when I don't see it. So sometimes it's kind of hard to remember. And like these little things here, they'll fit all right up there. And then I have postage stamps that would fit in the little ones. So, and like these here, I don't think I've used these in anything. So, you know, I just want to be able to sort my stuff out. But like I say, I'll go through, and as I make more of these, I'll put my like stuff together because there's a lot of storage room in here. And when I sewed this together, I used two strands of embroidery floss. See, I did 2 strands instead of just 1 to make it a little bit heavier. And on my, I think on this part here, the spine, I will probably go over it and put some washi tape just to cover up these so they don't tear out. And then I can just use my fabric. And I'll probably wrap it more than once. And like I say, I don't want to cut it too short, so I'm not going to cut it yet. I don't want to cut it too short. I thought about yarn, but the yarn isn't really heavy enough. So I can just have it closed, and I'll put on here, like if it's labels or something like that. So if I get around to making more of these, I probably won't come on and show me putting them together, but then maybe after they're done I can come on and just do a video and show you what I've done. So I'm pretty interested in getting this stuff done, so I'll have to work on that along also. So I hope everybody enjoyed my video, and don't forget, if you do make one of these, make you a little pattern that you can follow, because once you have everything marked and you can go through faster putting your pockets on, and if you do them before you sew them into your book, that goes a whole lot better. Lay your pages out flat, do an assembly line thing, and you're good to go. So let me know down in the comments what you think, and I hope you come back to see me for my next video. And until then, everyone, have a wonderful day and happy crafting. Bye for now.